Hello guys, Crispy here and welcome back to another video. This one, my friends, I'm going to be testing the Radeon RX 578 GB model in Forza Horizon 5. This one is the Gigabyte MI version of the card. It comes at stock speed, so I overclocked it a little bit, as you can see right here. And of course, we're using it with the latest NVIDIA latest AMD drivers. As usual, we're pairing it with a Ryzen 959 RX and 32 GB of RAM, and let's get right into it, shall we? First of all, let's go through the settings. I'm playing at the 1080p resolution. We're also going to test this one at 1440p and 4K, and we're using the high settings preset, and then we're going to test it out at like ultra or maybe extreme settings. Let's start counting our FPS. I saw a 0 and a 69 there on the averages and 1% lows. That was really weird. Alright, anyways, guys, as you can see in this demanding Horizon Festival area, we are getting 70s. That's very nice to see. But of course, we gotta go to the most demanding area, which is the city area. So I'm gonna stop counting the FPS right now because I gotta mark it in the map. But I am liking that the FPS are very close to 69. It's always a very good thing. Alright, let's keep on going. What the hell are you guys doing? Oh boy, okay, so driving through bushes is not intensive at all. This car sucks at it, by the way. Oh, it's very hard to control this. But hey, the 570 is doing an amazing job in terms of FPS, fairly similar to the 1066 GB, but maybe it's slightly slower here in Forza Horizon 5. Not too sure about that, but if you're interested, I already tested the 1066 GB in this game, and it did wonderfully well at the 3 resolutions at high settings, and even at ultra settings it was exceeding my expectations in this game. This is super well optimized. I love to play it. Alright, so we're gonna do a little bit of a shortcut right now. Okay, there we go. A little bit of a stutter there. 1% lows on at 69. This is wonderful, guys. This is the perfect GPU for 1080p high settings, for sure. Like 100% at this point. I think you should buy a 570 if you don't have it already, because it will get 69 FPS 1% lows, and make sure to overclock it to the same values that I did, otherwise you're not gonna get those sweet 1% lows. Yeah, we're talking about 69 way too much here in this video, so I'm gonna shut up with that. Okay, I'm sorry guys, I'm really sorry, but I just love the number. I don't know why, it's a random number. Yeah, anyway, it is dropping from 60 frames per second. Did you see that, guys? Oh my god. The good thing is you can still have a wonderful experience at the 1080p resolution, and my driving will be bad until the end as well. It will only get worse because from now on we will only get less and less FPS. So there's that, my friends. I am sorry about that. But anyways, inside of the city you can expect 60 to 70s. Outside of the city you can expect like 80s to 90s. And in the festival area, around 69. Now let's see it at the 1440p resolution. I think the 1060 was definitely doing better though. 2560 by 1440, still using the high settings preset. And okay, it's looking much sharper right now and much better. Let's start counting our FPS. Unfortunately, it's gonna be below 60 most of the time, I think, over here in this area at least. Of course, outside of here, you already know it's gonna be 60 plus all of the time. Now, is it a bad experience like this? Definitely not, guys. It is super playable and super smooth still. And for a car game or racing game, I think this is totally fine. If you have a 1440p monitor with the RX 570, I would definitely set it to high, disable the FPS counting system, and just enjoy the game, because it's a beautiful game. On high settings, it looks really good. And you're gonna have a flawless experience still. It's just not 60 FPS, but it won't really drop that much. Speaking of, we should definitely try to go to one of those tunnels here in this city, because those are super intensive, as we've seen with the 750 Ti previously. So I'm gonna have to drive around until we find them. This is a little tunnel right here. By the way, brick wall doesn't look very impressive at high settings, so there we go. That's one of the areas where they skip on high. Now we know. But the cars look amazing. The reflections look amazing as well. The vegetation actually looks pretty damn good. seriously? I can't break that one? And overall, the game looks really, really detailed on high settings. Look at that. Look at the grass. I'm gonna stop it, actually, so you can take a closer look. Yeah, it looks good. I think it lacks a little bit of ambient occlusion, and that's where ultra settings comes in to save the day. But aside from that, super, super nice and beautiful. I really don't know where the tunnels are, guys. I am so lost right now. Oh boy, how come we found so many tunnels with the GTX 750 Ti and now we can't find any? Also, the averages are at 60 right now. That's very nice. And bushes are also a little bit intensive when you run through them. Maybe the tunnel was here? I think so. I think this is it, guys. Yes, the tunnel is right there. All right, we got this. So 50-something frames per second outside of the tunnel. And 50... 40s. Oh boy. When we got out of the tunnel, it dropped immensely. Holy crap. Oh yes, this game is awesome. Look at that. So let's do some 4K here on high settings. 3840 by 2160 using the high settings preset once again, and judging by the FPS that we're getting, alright, it is still a playable experience, probably, right? Maybe 4K isn't the way to go, at least on high settings with the 570 here, guys. Yep. I mean, it is getting 30 plus, but inside of the tunnel, it will probably drop. Unless it doesn't. Alright, there we go. But in that direction, it's more intensive for some reason, so let's do that right now. Okay. So, 40s, 30s, lower 30s. Will it drop from 30? It did not drop from 30 FPS there, so that means that you're good to go for a 4K 30 frames per second experience and an RX 570. See that? You don't need a very beefy GPU to play games at 4K. Unless they're horribly optimized like Battlefield 2042 or Broken Field and Halo Infinite, for example. Those come to mind. Also Cyberbug. We can't forget Cyberbug, my friends. Yes, that's the worst of all. I actually forgot how bad that game was, and then I saw it again in the Sunday video, and I was like, oh, right. So Broken Field is actually not broken at all. Anyways, guys, that's it for the 4K experience. Doesn't drop from 30 frames per second. It is a smooth experience, more or less, especially if you play with the controller. It's gonna be very, very enjoyable. And yeah, I'm a little bit surprised, to be honest. I was expecting it to drop in the tunnel, but overall I was kind of expecting 30-something FPS, and that's what we got here on average. But overall, it is a playable experience at 4K. If you have the 4GB variant of the card, you're gonna see a VRAM bottleneck, actually, because the VRAM is at almost 5 gigabytes. 1080p using the ultra settings preset, and this is gonna be really rough for the little 570. Yep, you can see 50s here. So it's more demanding than 1440p high at 1080p ultra. But now you get that ambient occlusion around things, which I think looks way, way better. But still, if you want a 60 FPS experience, you should definitely stick to 1080p high settings, or maybe 1440p high settings as well. Even outside of town areas and stuff like that, we get only around 60 and a few drops, so it's a little bit rougher, but it's still super playable, 100%. I'd have fun like this. Oh boy! Please, you guys, AI needs to be better here. They need to presume that the driver is a complete stupid idiot like me, so I don't crash against things and cars. Yeah, that would be great, actually, if the trees moved around. Oh, boy! Or the houses and stuff. And we are here, guys, getting down into the 40s. Super intensive, way more intensive than what we saw on high. Holy crap, it drops into the 30s, guys. I wonder if it's because of the rainy weather. There are more reflections, after all, because of that. Oh, let's see the tunnel. Yeah. Okay. Right. Nothing that we haven't seen before. Oh my god, yes, never mind, actually. Lower 30s. Right. Still a very enjoyable experience, and if you're all about that graphical fidelity, This is probably a way to go. But now 1440p Ultra, this is gonna be rough right now. We're already getting 40s here. And 30s, lower 30s actually. We are in a tunnel technically though. Oh my god, it's looking really good though. That is amazing. Like the ambient occlusion makes such a difference. Oh my gosh. Alright, let's see. In this direction, it's okay. Not bad at all. But in this direction, we are getting down into the 20s maybe. Yep, 28 there. Still, if it only drops in the little entrance or exit of the tunnels, I guess it's fine, right? It's not too bad. Oh my, what the hell? Why did I think I could go there? Anyways, it does drop into the 30s very often, so I'd probably just lock the FPS to 30 and play with the controller. That would be totally alright of an experience. And yeah, it looks sharp, it looks beautiful, even on a 4K TV if you're playing on that. 1440p looks great. Anyway, I guess it could be worse. Let's look at the bricks. Yes, I totally forgot about that. So, yeah, they look totally better. Let's briefly test it at 4K because it's not going to be playable, right? So 3840 by 2160 ultra settings. We can already see those 20s. It's pretty bad, but it is still alright. You can drive around and take some screenshots if you're all about that stuff. So that's it. Oh god, we're not even in a tunnel anymore. Alright, yeah, most of the time it's gonna be below 30, so if you want to actually play the game for the races and stuff like that, no, just don't do this. Also, look at the VRAM utilization, 7 gigs. That's been it, my friends. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one very soon. Also, at ultra settings, bushes and stuff like that become intensive, so outside of town, you'll also drop the frames per second. Catch you in the next one. Love you all. Bye-bye.